industry is one of the most innovative and fastest growing industries in the world. The men and women of this industry work tirelessly to provide entertainment for the masses, and some of these provide the music that we love, music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves playing those video games, music that we love, music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves listening to video games. Do we even know who these people are? No. Would video games be the same without them? No. What you're about to hear.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of this IGM Sunday NewsCast. I am one of your hosts, the Average Gamer. I also go by Nick Suscon. And joining me again is Kurt. How's it going, man?
Greetings. I'm well. How are you?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired as beginning.
And so it goes. Weekend, Saturday, Sunday, lazy day. I hear ya.
Yeah. I've been. We have a charity stream going on in Hitbox right now for a cool project that a bunch of us are helping out with. And my wife pulled the early shift, so we were up at about 6 to get ready for her stream.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, yeehaw.
Yeehaw. That's awesome.
Yeah, that makes it pretty fun. So, how have you been the last week? We haven't really chatted since last stream.
No, I'm fine. Yesterday was my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. So
I became a man again. And again. And thank you, Nick. So I'm a bit tired. Not that I did anything too explosive, but I did sleep in a car. That happened. In a Walmart parking lot, driving back from Pittsburgh.
Wow.
So I started my 24th year of life, or 25th, whatever, what have you. Whatever.
How old am I?
How old am I? The 24th year of my life, I started sleeping in a unusual spot. So very cramped auto. Well, my automobile is spacious, but anyways, I had an intimate night with my car. And my girlfriend and I slept in this car separately. Not on. Yeah. Anyways, so I had a good weekend. I'm good.
That's good. That's good.
What I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to hear it. It's always good to celebrate a birthday and at least make a story. If not, make it worth it.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
So basically start New Year's of your life sleeping in places you're not familiar with.
That's a motto that you should live by, really.
Every day you should wake up somewhere you don't know you are. But I've been good, in a short answer, so.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you. What's happening with you? You're doing stuff.
Oh, yeah, stuff is being done. Stream last night. Getting all that. We're still finding a guest for next Monday's Average Giants, so
that's right.
Up in the air, but yeah, we had Guns of Icarus last week.
Damn Skippy!
Awesome. They just got accepted into the MLG, which was crazy. I never thought a game like that would be MLG.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. So we got to play with a bunch of the what will become the professional teams. And it was actually quite a lot of fun. We had a great time, so, yeah.
That's incredible. That's sweet.
Yeah, it was not bad at all.
Yeah.
That being said, shall we get down to brass tacks, start talking about some news?
News. Let's do some news.
Let's do some news. So what's important with news? I know some people are going to be like, how dare you show this on Hitbox, but let's talk about what's going on with not that.
And not Hitbox.
Oh my god! That's
Other than we're here on Hitbox.
Yeah, exactly. That was the wrong.
Holy.
The Jiminy Himiny. Okay, we can do this another way. Way to screw up, computer. And poof. Okay, what's going on with Twitch? Have you heard about what's the audio recognition software?
I've caught glimpses of this during our staff chatting. There's a lot of back and forth going on. But essentially, if I got this right, they're kind of doing a YouTube in the sense that they'll have something that'll register the music that's being used on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not clear on what that necessarily means for Twitch, because I
No
know like
worries.
YouTube is forced to like at first they just muted videos a couple years ago. They would just mute videos, and then recently they got a little bit more forgiving, and they just kind of had a thing that would pop up to tell you the artist, right?
Yep.
That was playing, so it wasn't as
Yeah,
lame.
and then beyond that, we've now have the monetizing kind of structure that YouTube has, that if you're a creator, you have to choose whether or not you're going to monetize your videos, and if you do monetize them, you need to make sure that not only do you have permission to use it, but you can prove that you have permission to use.
Well, that's tough.
It is. It can be a challenge for a lot of YouTubers. That's one of the reasons I actually started doing indie. Is I never expected to do indie games when I started out, and I started out with YouTube. But indie games are way easier to get permission to monetize because the developers just want the exposure.
Yeah, and more importantly, you also don't have to go. You most likely don't have to go through distributors and other people who may own the rights to this indie or this game. So,
Now,
yeah, absolutely, you could just reach right out to them.
A lot of people are going to say that this is a very tangential conversation that we're having. However, I want to point out that do you know who owns YouTube?
I would like to say that it is none other there than Google.
That's correct. Who
Okay.
also just bought Twitch.
Okay.
So you're starting to see like things are happening along the same lines, and that what's exactly going on with Twitch is right now it's for any offline video that you record. So like you can save the streams and archive them when you're on Twitch. And that used to be default. It is no longer default. It's a setting that you have to switch, and they're trying to phase it out. But they have recognition software that will go through those offline videos to find any third-party audio. And if it does find third-party audio, it will mute a half-an-hour section of that archive, is what's going on.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not affected live.
No, not at all. It does not affect live at all yet. There's no apocalypse coming to Twitch yet.
Yeah, but I mean, messing with archive stuff that's annoying.
Yeah, it is, definitely. But I wanted to bring this up because we're chatting about the evolution of YouTube and how it started off that they used to mute videos, and then you have things where like the actual artist will come up, which is something that we may see come up with Twitch in the future. And then it's all about getting the permissions to monetize now. Mm-hmm. Which would be a much better structure for a live streaming website than trying to get partnered. Because trying to get partnered is like trying to become a celebrity.
Oh, yes.
But if you could simply say, hey, I have the permission from the developer of this game to say he wants me to make money off of me streaming this for him. And Twitch going, okay, well then we have to give you your cut. That's going to be a very, very different game. I could see that as being the natural progression of where Google is trying to take Twitch.
Huh. Well then.
Interesting thought, eh?
Definitely. I mean, it's just. I mean, there's a lot to be said here, because it's these people do deserve recognition. The music that's being used, I definitely agree, but I mean, it definitely complicates things for, say, the smaller person who's just kind of doing a thing on Twitch. And these might be it's just, I don't know, it's going to be a learning curve for a lot of people, and it seems definitely a little bit far more complicated than YouTube, in the sense that YouTube now just shows the musician or shows the artist that they're using, and it's confusing. Or I mean, maybe they just haven't integrated it properly. Why they just can't do that immediately with Twitch? I mean, the technology's there to read what song it is, right? But I mean. Yeah, I don't know. It's. I
mean, there is definitely an air of big money protecting big corporations here. Mm-hmm. And that's something that's the old guard kind of expressing themselves. But I think that even with that mentality, that this is going to turn into a positive thing. Mm-hmm. Because I don't mind if I have to get permission to monetize my streams. I don't mind that, because it guarantees that I can monetize them at least.
Yes.
Rather than trying to get partnered along with another 300,000 people that are trying to get partnered at the same time.
Oh yes. Well, if anything, things like this happen, and maybe it'll allow people to get a little bit more creative in whose music they're using, and maybe make it more of a point to go for independent musicians too. So,
yeah.
But that's always, that's always, and that's what, I think that's a nice, there's always going to be claws into things. People are always going to want money for what they do. But it's cool, because then if this person who's doing this Twitch cast or whatever, maybe it'll give them the ability to find unknown musicians to use too, and people who will be more than willing to use their music and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. It's tough, but that is a very positive way to look at it. That's even
because that's what I would do. Personally, I would just be like, well, if I can't use this huge artist, I'm just gonna probably go on Bandcamp and find these musicians that can't fund their own music to even get produced physically. So I would just go out to them and find cool stuff. I guess that's what I kind of already do. I just do it for my own personal pleasure. But yeah.
That's what I did starting out again on my YouTube. Is I met the developers that made a game called Hyphen, and we became pretty close friends, and they introduced me to the dude that did the soundtrack for said game, and I commissioned him to do some pieces for my own YouTube channel.
And that's yours.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's mine, and so I have all the permission to it. I have the contract. I can prove it, and he gets exposure, because people always ask me, "Oh, this is a cool song. Where'd you get it from?" And I can point them right to him. So it's promoting that indie grassroots organization again.
Definitely. So interesting to see music. The whole music industry and indie music industry has been a disastrous mess of trying to figure things out for so long, and now it's kind of leaking its way into indie game, and people just trying to promote other indie games, and now they have to deal with music, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Well, we did this whole thing. Well, you remember last week we were talking about how becoming a game developer is one of the fastest growing jobs in the world right now.
Yes.
But to properly make a game, you also need artists and you need musicians. You need sound techs. So those jobs are also going up. How many DJs contact me on Twitter saying, "Hey, can you use this in one of your videos?" Or can you retweet this or that kind of thing? It's a crazy, crazy world that you kind of need to connect them. And I think something like what Twitch is doing is really going to start connecting those people to the exposure that they need.
Definitely. So with that said, then, is this how do you feel? Do you think this will be negative in the long run, or do you think it'll just kind of work itself out?
I don't think Google has built themselves on what they've done being a stupid company. I think when they were a stupid company was when they were trying to sell their search engine to other companies, and when they couldn't, they made their own, right?
Exactly.
I think what happened in the long run to YouTube, let's look. What happened in the long run to YouTube? Because of Google and the changes that they made that people initially hated, there are thousands of people now that make their living making videos on YouTube.
Yes.
That they couldn't do before.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes... it revolutionizes the industry. All the old guard gets all their advertising that they wanted for all their AAA games that everybody's going to read about anyway.
Exactly.
But as well, you get all the exposure for all the indie games. You get all the exposure for all the indie artists. You get all the exposure for all the indie DJs. So
definitely.
Long run, I am excited to see what's going to happen with Twitch.
So you're excited. So I think that's a really amazing way to look at it. I don't know of many people who look at Google as as a monster by any means yet. I haven't met them, at least. But no, I think that's a really valid, awesome point, and that Twitch is obviously something that's very well known. It's very appreciated already, and as was YouTube, but definitely blew up because Google getting putting its hands on it. So, and I really have not seen Google do something foolish yet in terms of taking something and destroying it. I haven't seen that. I'm sure maybe somebody somewhere everybody has something to complain about, but
or go ahead. I have something.
No, that's fine. As someone who's I'm okay with it. I think It's fine. I think you're right.
No one mentioned Google Plus. Okay.
Well, hey, you know
Plus
what?
is annoying.
Google Plus is doing its thing. I recently took a chance to go back on Google Plus. I was like, this isn't too bad. But I think that's for a different audience right now. I think
quoting ABBA. Take a chance.
ABBA. Oh God, I've been talking about ABBA all week.
Take a chance.
Anyways, but you had something to add.
Yes, two things now. Look at the long term for that, Cherry. Everybody hated when Google Plus integrated YouTube into it. And now when you plus one or leave a like and that kind of thing, it integrates between Google Plus and YouTube. Mm-hmm. Now that Google owns Twitch, what do you think is going to happen with Google Plus and the integration there? You're going to have your live stream connected to your YouTube channel, connected to your Google Plus.
I mean, hey, at least Google didn't buy Facebook.
Yet.
yes. But I mean, honestly, if they're able to, if like you just said, if they're going to be integrating YouTube so well into Google Plus, and now Twitch is going to be integrated into Google Plus, exactly. I mean, they may not even need to even bother with Facebook.
Mm-hmm. And Twitch has got a lot of flack lately for banning channels that were doing things other than gaming, which I think is interesting because, again, we're talking about Google, and you mentioned about how Google can tear things down sometimes. There's another streaming site called Justin TV that just recently got closed, like in the last week or 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
What a lot of people don't realize is that Justin TV was owned by Twitch, which means that it's also owned by Google. And what Justin TV was all the non-gaming streams that wouldn't fit on Twitch. So all the art streamers and all of the what we're doing, the webcast and all that kind of thing that didn't fit on Twitch, used to go on to Justin TV. Now, what I'm assuming here, and this is a bit of an assumption, but it's a pretty logical leap, is that Google is saying, why would we split our creators across two websites? Why wouldn't we? Because they want to integrate and synergize. So why wouldn't they take down that website? And when they took down that website, everybody that had an account on Justin TV, they moved it to Twitch. So they didn't just say, F you guys, we're out. They moved all those people to Twitch so that it brought their audience with them.
Gotcha.
And then, so now you have a lot of non-game streams on Twitch. And then you're going to have integration with Google+, and then we're going to have integration with advertising. And then all of your YouTube money is going to funnel into Twitch as well because of Google+.
Definitely. And there's obviously people who use both. I mean, Twitch and YouTube, and will use their, and I mean, I think that makes perfect sense. And I mean, so basically what sounds like you're saying is that, Twitch is probably going to be more than, it's when it was so focused on games, it felt like, mostly video games, and there was this other thing to compensate for stuff that there wasn't room for. Now maybe that Twitch will be able to broaden a bit more, and without having to drop other streams and other things that are not relative necessarily to video games.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah.
That's a good example. I mean, streaming became big, and it's an important tool and footnote in the history of gaming. Because without streaming, we really wouldn't have esports that much. Because that's the only way that you were able to watch esports back in the day. We didn't have, like, ESPN 8 The Ocho covering, like, Halo 2 tournaments. Mm-hmm. So you had to stream. And nowadays, like, that's still really popular. Everybody still shows up for, like, the US invitationals for League of Legends and that kind of thing. But a lot of people use streaming, I find, to connect to other people. We had my wife, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. My wife was streaming for the charity this morning. It's called the Trevor Project, which is a really cool project. And they had a 3-hour conversation about different types of sexualities, like pansexuals, bisexuals, etc., what it was like for those people coming out. And they all had this great connection in the stream about this, what is seen as kind of a touchy topic. Like, they don't want to talk to their families about it, but they want to talk to somebody streaming on the internet. So I think it's important because what they're doing, integrating this all together, is building that community. And with the YouTube integration, the Google Plus integration, and Twitch, I think we're just going to see the community grow.
Definitely. That's awesome. That's good. There's obviously people who are always going to be opposing There's always going to be someone who doesn't agree with it, who has problems with things like Google or any other company trying to get, or even musicians or, distributors trying to get money for their work when, there's always indie people just trying to do their thing. And there's obviously people already really upset about Google buying Twitch. But I think you present a very, insightful, positive look at it, especially reflecting on YouTube, which was something that people were definitely very opposed to. So yeah, I think you're a good man, Nick.
Oh, thank you, Karen. This was the only news piece I really wanted to cover today because I thought it would be a nice 25-minute long talk, which we're at 23 minutes. So
yeah, it is. I mean, there's always when something like this, there's always a lot to talk about and to discuss.
Well, this affects us so much at Indie Game Magazine because Mighty Giants in chat. That's my co-host and the creator of Average Giants. You can. When we started playing games, I said, hey, we should try indie because it seems to be rising. And then I had 10, 15, up to 50 to 75 devs contacted me on Twitter every week to try and play their games on my YouTube channel. So when we went to streaming, he had the great idea of hey, let's help the people that need exposure and get them on to stream and throw that onto YouTube. And
definitely. Because
of that, we're a tiny, tiny show and a tiny, tiny channel, but we've helped sales for a couple of games, which is, it's our little way of giving back.
Yeah, that's amazing. But with that said, how do you feel about Hitbox then? Or do you really think it's just a totally different field, or do you think Hitbox is really just more focused on podcasts and stuff like what we're doing, more news-based type things?
This is a little insider info, but when we came to Hitbox, it was actually Average Giants that we came to Hitbox first because there's not as much delay, and we kind of needed that for the Average Giants show because a lot of our developers will watch the stream, so they kind of need to see what we're doing. Yes. And then when IGM came to Hitbox, it was kind of under my recommendation, and Hitbox retorted by saying, yeah, we would love to be the hub of indie gaming. So I totally respect them for that. I think, the website is still in beta. So it still has a bit of work to go. And I am hoping to see them get a bit more of an audience.
Definitely.
It's difficult for them because you look at Twitch and there's hundreds of thousands of people watching Twitch at any given time. You look at Hitbox and it's a lot of times under 1,000.
Yeah.
At most 2,000 or 3,000. And you had Justin TV close, but we also have Gaming Live just went into their alpha. So you're going to see a lot of the... it's League of Legends comes out and 50 million mobile games come out.
Yes.
Well, that's what it's going to be. I think Twitch is always going to be the titan, but you're going to have your
you're going to have other things. Yeah, you're going to have other things doing things a little differently. Yeah. Aimed towards specific audiences or how they want to do their thing. So, yeah, Hitbox will do its thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly what we're going to see.
Cool. Alrighty. So that was the big Twitch news. Twitch
that was good.
Some say.
That was a good chat. So let's look at some... Oh, wait. What am I doing? Come on, work. Please work. Let's look at some videos.
So, yeah.
So this one is a game that we're going to be covering here at IGM. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it's called Ninja Pizza Girl. So we'll watch the video and then we can chat.
Ninja Pizza Girl started years ago when our eldest daughter was learning Kung Fu and had a job delivering pizzas. She was our real-life Ninja Pizza Girl. And her funny and sometimes disturbing stories about her job gave us the inspiration for what we thought would be a harmlessly cute video game. But over the years, the idea grew in unexpected directions.
We watched our two eldest daughters be teenagers, and they had a really rough time. Anything that makes you stand out from the crowd makes you a target, and you feel everything so acutely. If we were going to put a teenage girl in a video game, we wanted her to face the same enemies she'd have in real life. And those aren't aliens or space marines or zombies. Well...
Zombie! Don't get out.
No, not zombies. A teenage girl's greatest enemies are other teenagers. And herself.
Being held deep and stuff is great, but there's no point in making a game if it's no fun. There's a lot of games that I don't play because the controls are too fiddly, the game itself is too hard or too dull, or the plot's just stupid. Ninja Pizza Girl just flows, and if it doesn't, I yell at my dad until it does.
So that's how Ninja Pizza Girl became what it is. A game that's weird and real and funny and unfinished.
And we've invested our own money into this project. Nearly all of it, actually. And we've gotten assistance from Screen Australia and Screen Queensland.
Thanks, Screen Queensland and Screen
Thanks,
Australia.
guys! But it's still not enough. So we're faced with either doing a half-assed rush job, which isn't an option, or asking for your help to finish it properly.
So check out our page, play the demo, and if you like what you see and you want to help us make Ninja Pizza Girl be the best it can be, please back our Kickstarter.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
So, Ninja Pizza Girl, what you think?
Ninja Pizza Girl. So yeah, we've been talking about this at IGM for a while. But yeah, it's like a 2D Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. Actually,
So-
there's a really good Mirror's Edge app that's that same style that it totally reminded me of, so it's funny that you brought that up.
Yes. But there's a lot of cool things about this project. A lot of very positive, I mean, under the tone, like it's nothing you'd definitively see in the trailer, but they're very accompanied to, I believe, with people with disabilities, right?
Yeah.
And that's a really big thing for them, and that's something really to be appreciated about what they're trying to do, especially because it's a family, and I think that's just like adorable and really interesting to see a family of people with matching haircuts make this thing together. But no, it's very like there's a lot of I think for me personally, it's the family, it's what they're trying to accomplish, which is actually more interesting than the game for me.
And I would like to point out that was very well done video. It was under 30 minutes, started with gameplay, explained what they were making, why they were making it, and why they needed help. That was perfect.
And still while being, whimsy and fun.
Yeah.
Too, without being super serious. So yeah, they did a great job.
They also have 3 days to go and they only need $4,000. Less than $4,000, which is unfortunate. That is an unfortunate place to be when it's completely up in arms if you're going to make it or not. So Ninja Pizza Girl, I think it's going to be cute. I hope it makes it. Mighty Giant was saying that they contacted us at Average Giants, but it's a short demo, so there's not really... That's one of the problems we have. We've had a lot of mobile people come in and say, hey, would you mind having our game on there? And it's like, we'd love to, but it's only a 10-minute long game. So you can't fill an hour with that, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, I think, so this has happened time and time again where Kickstarter's kind of been in this spot. And I don't think they're in as bad of a spot as some I've seen in the past where, you're like a few days away and you're, pushing almost 10,000 that you need. And I've seen those do it. I've seen those accomplish it. So I really think at this time it's really just a big push, word of mouth for people to start kind of being obnoxious and getting it out there. And
yeah, completely.
So I think they can totally do it. I think they still have chance.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite Cinderella stories that way was the people that made Shadowrun Returns. They made a board game. They needed $500,000, and they had $375,000 with 24 hours to go, and they actually made their Kickstarter.
Wow.
It was a crazy push. Crazy push. I had backed it like the day that it started, and I was like, oh, I wanted to play this so bad, and I put it out of my mind, and like came back a couple days later, and I was like, wait, they made it?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So talk about a close call. So you never know what's going to happen, but it's not a spot you want to be either.
No, definitely not. I mean, they've been, and I mean, I've been hearing about this for a while. I think I'm pretty sure before I even was writing at Indie Game Magazine, I think I'd heard about this. Honestly, I think I may have heard of it by going to Indie Game Magazine. But yeah, so it's. I think they're, I've been seeing they're advertising in the right places. Obviously, it just we need that extra person that has a couple grand to throw up.
Yep.
So.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, we're going to be talking about it's called Vanguard V, which is a return to rail shooters, which like Star Fox. I love those. But yeah, we'll watch the video.
Great.
Here we go.
Virtual reality is on the brink of exploding, and I believe it can be something great. What it needs is developers who are ready to commit their efforts 100% on VR-only games. I've been working in the games industry for nearly 10 years, and I gave up the studio environments and the safe paycheck because I love VR. I recently finished a game called Proton Pulse. Some of you may have already played the demo. Today I want to present a new game, Vanguard V, previously known by its working title, Project Wormhole. This is a fast-action VR experience featuring Q, a visitor tracking an unknown menace, and Bit, her AI companion that streams a third-person view directly to Q's visor.
You lack a certain situational awareness. This will help.
All you need to do is look where you want to fly or aim. You'd be amazed how second nature it is to fly this way. I've been pulling together a team of extremely talented people, both locally and across the globe. Joey, an amazing voice talent and scriptwriter. Callan, a voice actress with just the right energy for the role of Q. A musician by Megan Echo, who contributed his tracks to the initial prototype. Speaking of music, I'm honored to have Jake Kaufman and Dan Behrens bring their legendary talents to the game. And lastly, a colleague of mine from the Cooking with Unity series is assisting with code. These people have been donating their time and helped me make this demo possible because they believe what I believe, that the world is finally ready for virtual reality. We want to prove how great a game built from the ground up for VR can be. The plan is to have Vanguard V available at launch for every major VR platform. I've already done the work to be a licensed developer for both Oculus and Sony for the PlayStation 4. Every contribution, no matter how small, will guarantee you immediate access to the playable demo. Every dollar will be going into bringing in more talent, bringing the game to more VR platforms, and raising the bar of how great a game we believe this title can become. With enough support, your contribution will lay down the foundation for a strong VR dedicated studio. Join me, and together we can be part of VR history.
Oh my god, yes!
Robotech is so good.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Holy good lord. I'm in. Sign me up. How much do I have to pay?
Even the music, too. Oh, the music. Well, yeah, that was very... Wait, did it pass its... Oh, wait, what is it going for?
Dun, dun, dun. I'm sorry, I wasn't even looking. So they need $200,000. They have 12 days to go, and they have 22 grand, which means that game's probably not going to make it. Probably not going to make it. Oh my god, can I get that soundtrack anyway, though?
I know.
Wow, that juiced me so hard. I can't believe you know Robotech.
Oh, I grew up with Robotech. I had a full box set DVD collection. Of
my god!
Of the few seasons, or it didn't even have that. Or how many seasons did it even have? One or two, I'm pretty sure.
No, they did about 150 episodes all told.
Really?
Believe it or not, yeah.
Well, man, I mean, unless I was just in a, I don't know. It's a wonderful soap opera with robots.
Yes.
But,
Oh my God, yes. It's also a book series. I read all 28 books.
yes, that I'm not. No, I do know of those. I did not do that, but I grew up. Yeah, we had like my dad was, I don't know. He had Voltron and Robotech stuff, and so yeah. I was gifted with that. Not so much into Gundam though.
Yeah, me neither.
I kind of fell out of that one, but as a youngin,
I love the soap opera.
I was about to say, as a youngin, I was captivated by the relationships of Robotech, and just the countless episodes spent in hospitals, just talking to each other and discussing their relationships.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, Robotech's amazing, yes. But then there's Vanguard B, which is a very close first-person Robotech battle style music.
So yeah, right. That's what reminded me of it. Is when the music started up, it was straight out. It's unfortunate because we do need to start seeing some VR studios. It's going to become a thing. And
I think it's such a hard push.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
What was it called? The Pulse. The Proton Pulse. The other game he's been doing, I've been watching. I'm a YouTuber, so I've been watching Markiplier played it, Jacksepticeye played it, and a couple other people played that one, and it was awesome. It was Arkanoid that you controlled with your face. How cool is that?
So have you had the chance to Oculus Rift?
I did at PAX last year, so it would have been the first development kit. I can't even explain it. If you look at your desk and the things sitting on your desk right now, it is literally that realistic. It looks like you can reach out and grab the things on your desk.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. You can watch videos of it, but they don't do it justice.
I see, yeah, because I can't help it, but I'm skeptical, but I think a lot of my skepticism comes from in the mid '90s when I feel like virtual reality was being pushed so hard. I mean, of course, let's excuse the gem that is Virtual Boy for a second, but I specifically remember being at an amusement park, and one of the things was step on up and play Duke Nukem 3D, but in virtual reality.
Oh yeah.
And I remember it just being the most. I think I made it into the movie theater, the first level, and then just got destroyed because I had no idea what the hell was happening. And it was at that point, as a youngin, as a little kid, I was like, virtual reality is stupid, and I just didn't care. So the Oculus Rift is a hard push for me, but I mostly just need to try it. I haven't had the opportunity to, and I think that's going to be a problem for a lot of people.
The medium of the VR goggles that we're seeing come out now, they do have a specific game type that works well for them.
Definitely.
The best one that I've ever seen is a little horror game where you're sitting on a couch playing a video game, and the controls that you're controlling are controlling the video game in the video game, but your head is looking as if you're sitting on this couch. And then while things are happening in this little horror video game on the TV, they happen to you in the house, so it kind of breaks the fourth wall.
That sounds outstanding.
It is. It's a great game.
That is a brilliant idea. Especially... Wow.
It works because your body isn't moving. And so it doesn't, your brain isn't going, why am I walking forward? I feel like I should be walking forward. You don't get that motion sickness.
Yes.
That's why another good one that worked was Hawken was one of the first games that was Oculus enabled. And because you're sitting in a cockpit controlling this giant mech, it feels like you should just be sitting there while you're controlling it, right? So it works that way. But if you're gonna play co-op in Oculus Rift, that's not gonna work because your body's not contorting.
Exactly. I think going back to the game you told me about, where you're just sitting on a couch, I don't know, I personally have had those times where it's super late at night and I'm sitting alone on my couch playing a video game in the dark, and I can't help but your imagination getting the best of you, especially when you're as a survival horror dude, playing those games, if I were to be playing Resident Evil 2, sitting in the dark on a couch.
I was thinking Resident Evil Director's Cut was actually...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. For me, it was Resident Evil 2, and I have such vivid memories of being in my basement in the dark, sitting on a couch playing that. And now, if I were able to re-experience that, but playing Resident Evil 2 via Oculus Rift, but in the concern that things are around me, that's very weird, very horrifying, but awesome. It's such a good idea.
I'm gonna log out. I don't think these guys are gonna make it, but I'm gonna throw $6 their way.
Wonderful.
I want that soundtrack so bad.
Honestly, does it come with it? Is that? It's like I wonder if that song's gonna be in.
If you do $6, you get the soundtrack.
Ooh! Oh my God! Okay, then yeah, definitely. I mean, I admit, like, I will throw $1 at a couple Kickstarters just so I can, be like, I tried. Like, I put $1 there. I put $1 there.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Yeah, but for a soundtrack, ooh, oh.
Come on now, do my
now
password.
And for the rest of the show, we'll be watching you do this.
Click.
Oh, okay.
Dang it! Why do I have so many passwords? Oh, it's probably the wrong email. Sorry, guys. I need this soundtrack. I need it.
With that said, I saw that they. What was that thing on their page about the Wii U?
They actually had a whole spiel about like, what do you want us to put this on?
Was it in the Kickstarter video?
No. It's on their page. They have a Dropbox to check off.
Yeah.
Would you like to see it on? Would you like to see it on non-VR platforms? And then it's clicking which one. I'd love to see that on my Vita. I would play that on my Vita for sure.
And the Wii U would work too, because the controller.
You could have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that's kind of what the rumor is for the new Star Fox, or if it actually gets made for the Wii U. That essentially you wouldn't be using. It would be the controller would be you would use to look around, kind of like their Google Look, whatever the hell that is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can see how that works, but that dude had a lot of Oculus Rifts on his desk.
Yep. Well, I'm sure he had the Development Kit 1 and 2 on the desk. Is probably why. Because there's a big difference between them. Because the 2, you have a little camera that sits on your monitor, and then when you move your head in physical space, it will actually move the camera in virtual space. Yeah, it's nuts with this kind of stuff it can do.
So I go in and out of information on the Oculus Rift. Sometimes I see something that's intriguing to me, that a game that I want to know about. But do we know when we're like consumers will have it or be able to get it?
No. They said summer this year, but then Facebook bought them. So
and do you know exactly what Facebook is doing with them? Because that's another news piece that I admittedly just ignored. I was just like, I don't care.
I mean, we touched on it a couple of months back in the webcast here, but what was the point that I brought up? It's not a point that I brought up. Sorry, it's my cousin-in-law works at EA Vancouver as the head of user experience, and what he said was, imagine if you could have 6 people around the world sit in a virtual living room and chat. So, I mean, that would be a great use of it in a social network kind of way. I don't see why they would need to buy it.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting use of it.
Whatever. They're just like, I guess we'll just buy this thing.
Yeah.
Like, what else are we going to do?
Well, weird. If Zuckerberg knows how to do one thing, it's make money. Copious amounts.
Damn Skippy.
Yeah.
So obviously he saw, there was an opportunity for future investment there. So
yeah.
But I mean, and I guess with that said, do we know when Sony's is coming out? I mean, do any of these really have a?
Nothing concrete yet.
My God, I feel like I've been hearing about this stuff for years. It feels like.
That's because, like me, you were one of the people that used to go to your local fair or carnival and play the VR machines in like 1995.
back in 1995, I played the first Oculus Rift version of Duke Nukem.
I don't know, Kurt. I think you and I have to hang out more, because in this stream alone, we found out you played Robotech, you have a Virtual Boy, and you used to play VR. Those are 3 things that are like, you're the only other person I met that knows all 3 of those things.
Oh, yes. I mean, Wario World and Mario Tennis were the only games that I have in the Virtual Boy.
I mastered Mario Tennis in my Virtual Boy.
Oh, I spent honestly, like I know the whole thing was like take a break after like 44 minutes of playing your Virtual Boy, but I honestly did sit there for 2 hours just going from start to finish in the Warrior World. That was for that.
Oh, good God.
That was for the Virtual Boy. And you know what? I'm fine. I don't even need glasses. I'm okay.
I played it for 2 hours once and had a migraine for over a day.
That's no big deal.
Yeah, no biggie. No biggie.
No big.
Bring on the Oculus. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, bring on this. Back in my day, black and white, red and black is what we were used to.
We need to make a meme of that. Back in my day,
we had back in the old day of virtual reality.
It's wireframe, 2 colors allowed.
Some say it was black and white for TVs. Nah, got red and black. It's like fact too that like red against black on screens are absolutely just like horrible for you.
Oh yeah. Say, like,
don't do red text on black. But no, Nintendo didn't care at that time.
I want to say something, but the most PC way to say this would be like red wireframe on a black background is kind of like the Virtual Boy trying to forcibly make love to your eyes.
Oh yes, yes. So yeah, now Nintendo encourages family love. They just want to make love to you.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Screw your family. It's just you and me.
On that beautiful note, let's watch the video for Jenny LeCue.
Ah yes.
Oh, hello. I'm Arthur K. Finkelstein, homemade jam enthusiast, Wildlife Dental Society member, and author of Jenny the Clue. The greatest choose-your-own-adventure novel series in the world! And now I want you to help me write her biggest adventure yet. Jenny the Clue, Detective Rule, an interactive adventure game where you control the story. Hey, you're not supposed to see that yet. Spoiler alert! As I was saying, we'll explore the town of Arthurton, a world rich with characters, like Jenny the Clue. When her mother is accused of murder, Jenny takes on the case of her life, and soon she discovers nothing is what it seems. A choose-your-own-adventure game with choosiness on a massive scale. Crack the case. Save your family. Unearth Arthurton's dark secrets. And don't forget to floss. Make Jenny's story possible on Kickstarter. What's Kickstarter?
Okay, short, sweet. I like the video. Oh, they made it.
Oh, they made it, yeah.
Yeah, they must have done that this morning because they
pretty quickly too. They made
they got 11 days left too.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't as quick as I thought. Never mind, but they still made it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it was actually 2 days ago. I think they made it because I've been following this one.
As I'm sure you've caught on, I like to do trends or recurring themes in our show. And one of them is the resurrection of the point-and-click adventure.
Oh, yes. Which I'm very fond of. I think I said last week to you that I'm a huge point-and-click adventure fan. It even says in my bio for Indie Game Magazine. So.
I think I just listed off the consoles that I own. Which is why they don't let me use that bio.
I like Virtual Boy. Yeah, the Virtual Boy. That's a good one. That's what you like, and that's it.
That one's on my resume more like, yes, I own one of these.
So yeah.
The resurrection of the point and click. I love it because it allows a game to do so much design-wise. This one reminds me a lot of Broken Age, which is the latest Double Fine game.
Yeah.
And I love the style.
Kickstarter success.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love Jenny the Clue. I mean, like, obviously I haven't played it, but like everything that they're doing, their look, their presentation, I'm very excited for it. I really, 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 really want it. So, and I mean, and even though point-and-click adventure games are coming back very strong, I still don't think. I mean, we're seeing a ton of Kickstarter ones too. I feel like there's always a new point-and-click adventure game coming out. Ever since specifically Broken Age Double Fine blew up, and I'll play this just on the sole purpose that it's a new point-and-click adventure game because it's my favorite genre to play.
That's one of the things. Growing up, I was never big in a point-and-click. I like Discworld. I hated King's Quest.
Oh yeah, well the Sierra games are definitely, they're a different type of point-and-click adventure game.
But then I found out the LucasArts point-and-click and Monkey Island. Oh my God, Monkey Island.
Not only just Monkey Island, but they like obviously there's Sam & Max and Dick the Tentacle and of course legendary Maniac Mansion. But that was
there's also that one, The Dig. The Dig, that was also them.
The Dig was like, was there more serious? I mean, most of the LucasArts ones were very fun and charming. So like Monkey Island just had this beautiful animated, almost Disney-like art style, and then The Dig was a little bit more serious.
And I just wanted to say that since those days, I've found I used to be big into Homestar Runner.
Yes,
everybody knows
Strong Bad.
And he has his video game, which was done by a small development company, or a studio. It was their first debut game. They got the rights to do the Strong Bad game and knocked it out of the motherfucking park. So much that then they did Back to the Future.
Definitely.
Then they did the next Monkey Island.
We're getting there.
Then they did Sam & Max. And then they did The Walking Dead. And recently they've done The Wolf Among Us. And that's Telltale Games.
Definitely. To see that growth is amazing.
Yeah, it's been really cool to watch them. But I attribute that company a lot to the resurrection of the point-and-click.
Definitely.
As well as the fact, I think from an indie perspective, those types of games are probably one of the easier ones to try and deal with.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, they were the ones that I feel like modernized it or made it, accessible on consoles, because originally point-and-click adventure games were point and click, thus your mouse pointing and clicking.
Yeah.
And they never really worked on consoles at all. So definitely they did. They brought it to the forefront for a new age, a new folk.
And now we get cool things like Jenny LeClue, which looks amazing. I love how this game looks and feels. The style is cool. The fact that it has like multiple choices, I think, is going to really help it.
Which is definitely reminiscent of Telltale's attempt too, with Walking Dead and the main choose your own path type of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, Telltale went into it almost more than like BioWare did with all their games. So it's cool. That's something we need to see more of, and I'm glad that this game got backed.
Indeed, I was really happy about it.
Okay, the next one I want to show is really just for Might Be Giant. I'm glad he's here because this is just to make you happy, buddy. We're going to be talking about Tetropolis, and that I say that's for Might Be Giant because he is the world's biggest Tetris fan.
Ooh.
He is like a ridiculously big Tetris fan. Anyway, let's watch a video and we can chat about it.
Hello, and welcome to the Kickstarter for the video game Tetropolis. Tetropolis is a mashup of Tetris with classic Metroidvanias. The story takes place in a world that's obsessed with falling block puzzle games, where perfection is the most important aspect of life. You play as a misshapen tetromino named Peace, that teams up with an orphaned block in order to become whole. As you progress through the world, you will obtain different tetromino shapes that each have their own unique abilities. These abilities change the way you traverse the environment, allowing you to reach previously inaccessible areas. In addition, they can be chained together in order to execute complex maneuvers or to destroy certain enemy types.
What in God's name?
In addition to the different shapes, there are augmentations that will change the physical characteristics of Peace, giving it special powers. What sets Tetropolis apart from other Metroidvanias is that the map itself is a puzzle. Around the world, there are control points that enable you to shift and reorient the rooms that comprise each level. This allows you to create new pathways to obtain secrets, solve puzzles, or simply progress. All the changes you make to the map are made in real time. We've been working on Tetropolis for about a year now, and the concept has greatly evolved over time. We currently have plans for 4 different zones within the world, each with their own unique environments, puzzle elements, and enemies. We are planning to release on Ouya, PC, Mac, and Linux in 2015. In collaboration with Ouya and the Free the Games Fund, our total funding will be doubled, provided we meet our goal, allowing us to make Tetropolis an even better game. Our stretch goals include additional challenge maps and leaderboards, so you can test your puzzle-solving abilities against other players. If you like what you see here, please check out the rest of the Kickstarter page. We will be uploading a playable demo of Tetropolis in the next few weeks, so keep your eyes peeled for it. Thank you for your support and for taking the time to view our Kickstarter.
So, Tetropolis. Yeah, it is multi-platform, obviously. The Ouya, PC, Mac, Linux. I bet they bring it to... Are there stretch goals? I bet they say in stretch goals that they'll bring it to the Whoozawats. Mobile.
Whoozawats?
The Whoozawats, you know what I mean.
Yep. No, I guess I don't.
So, they are looking for 50 grand, which is about par for building an indie game these days in Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. And they got 36 days to go, so plenty of time to back it, guys, and they need your help if you want in. And they do have a demo. What do you think?
I was very, captivated. I was just, watching and being like, what? What am I watching? It's like a Metroid-style, Thomas Was Alone type, but, with Tetris, and I was, I was fascinated. I was just like, what? And the map is a puzzle. It looks cool.
I like seeing those when they mash up a couple different genres together.
Yes.
It's cool.
Are there any, this is, I don't know, this might be it, but is there any, I am skibbity pop. Would there be, right issues for it being Tetris? Or is it because it's Tetropolis?
Yeah, that's far enough away. If you want to talk legally about copyright infringement, we'll talk about Flappy Bird after I say this. Your original content needs to be 3% different than the content that you are taking from.
3% different.
3%. I know this because my wife is a design major, and she tells me about this all the time and bitches about it. So, another piece of little news is, the creator for Flappy Bird, he has remade Flappy Bird.
Yes.
And it's coming to the Amazon console, or whatever the hell they have going on. And the difference is, he changed the color. And that's 3%.
3%.
So, they're bringing it to Amazon and expecting to make a buttload of money off it, which they aren't going to because everybody's over Flappy Bird. But good on him anyway.
I never even had the chance to experience Flappy Bird. I'm okay though. He plays a Flappy Bird, right? Anyways, so Tetrapolis, whatever. It looks cool. I like this game.
Yeah, I am down with this game. I knew Giant would like it because, honestly, he's a Tetris king. In high school, he, I forget what the game was called, but it was like this multiplayer Tetris game that you could screw other people over in, kind of like Hexic multiplayer, except that you had teams. So it would be like a team of 4 people would go up against a team of 4 people. And he was like the leader of one of the teams. Was it called Tetranet? Yeah, thanks, Giant.
By the gods. That's amazing.
Right? He was so in for that.
I feel like I always say this. I feel like people with Tetris, it's kind of the same thing as people with like making grilled cheese sandwiches. Like everyone makes the best grilled cheese sandwich. Everyone I talk to always like, I make the best grilled cheese sandwich, and I feel the same way about Tetris players. Every person I meet is like, I'm the best Tetris player.
Let me break.
I feel that way. I feel that way too. I'm just like, I'm so good at Tetris. Everybody just come over and just But you know what? I was never part of a Tetranet. So I can't say that much, but I do make a damn good grilled cheese. Anyways.
Let me break that pattern for you.
Sure.
I hate Tetris. I do not like that game. My parents used to complain that I'd never played it on my Game Boy, so they don't know why they bought it for me. So I purposefully lost it down the toilet one day.
Fantastic. You know what? My appreciation for you just skyrocketed. The man, the myth, the man who hates Tetris, who flushed it down his toilet. Did they have Tetris for Virtual Boy too?
It was planned as one of the launch games, but the Virtual Boy only actually launched half of their launch games.
Yeah.
Because that's how long of a shelf life the Virtual Boy had.
And for some reason, I had one.
Yep, me too. Well, I got mine from a garage sale. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I don't know why it happened, but for whatever reason, like I don't know if my parents saw like this is it. This is the future. Man. I didn't even have an N64, but I had a Virtual Boy.
Yeah. I growing up, I got an NES, and then I got my Game Boy, and then my parents decided that gaming was an instrument of Satan. So my next console I had to buy myself, which was my PlayStation 1.
Ooh.
And I missed so much in between then that during my teenage years, me and my buddy would travel garage sales throughout our entire city and just go sailing to find consoles.
Oh, amazing.
And now,
to this day, you can find gems.
Yeah, exactly. My list of consoles that I own is much smaller than the list of consoles that have been made that I don't own.
Wow.
Yeah, I am very proud to say.
That's amazing. It's I'm not surprised though that your parents thought games were a part of Satan, because they're like, our son is flushing games down the toilet.
Yeah.
He's destroying things.
You say that in past tense.
Oh.
I told them I'm a published author now. They said, really? And what? I was like, in the Indie Game Magazine. They said, oh, tell us when you get published in something that actually matters.
That's awful. Doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Oh, it doesn't matter to me. So the next game I want to talk about is, this one was brought to me by a fan, actually. It's called Station, and it looks like such a cute little game. Not.
Hello, we are Designing Engine, and we would like to tell you about our first game called Station.
The main idea behind the Station was to make a pixel art game with a dark atmosphere of constant, vague menace. The storyline we developed is kind of a mix between Lovecraft stories and alien movies. At the center of the story is an underwater mining facility. There is an incident during a routine expedition, and the facility is suddenly transformed into a death trap. The only option is escape. The player is surrounded by fire, water, bare wires, and crew members who have become so crazed that they are more than ready to take a chunk out of their nearest former comrade. It's up to the player to make his way to safety using whatever items and equipment he can find in the station, including cranes, battery scuffs, loading robots, security systems, and more. A major focus in creating the game map will be to provide a variety of alternate paths. Instead of forcing the player to spend hours searching for a single predetermined route, we decided to make a network of interesting paths that he can choose from. Relationships with NPCs can also develop in a variety of ways. There will be other characters in the station who have managed to remain more or less sane after the incident, but it will be up to the player to decide whether he wants to try to save them to get useful information out of them, where to find a keycard for example, or eliminate them as a potential threat. How sane are they really anyway? The storyline will be split in two parts. The first will be told through dialogue and experienced directly via gameplay, and the second will be hidden in diaries, technical documentation, and crew members' correspondence. To discover the second part of the story, the player will have to rely on his own detective skills.
The game contains no resources, no experience points, and no swords that can be purchased with real money. There also will be no multiplayer or PvP. Moreover, the style and genre of Station do not lend themselves to add-on and DLCs, and this is why Station is not attracting the attention of investors in the modern gaming industry.
But we really like the idea, and we are determined to try and make it reality. With your help, we can make a good game in a genre that has recently been neglected. Well, that's about it. Below this video, you can read about the project in more detail and download demo version. We hope you enjoy it.
I was being serious. I actually do like that. And they were self-aware enough to put subtitles in, even though I didn't need them.
Oh, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Definitely. It'd just be great to have a horror game and like with people freaking out and they're just like, I'm here, hello, I'm worried.
Yeah. I find it interesting that whenever anybody sees sci-fi horror, they immediately go to Dead Space. But Dead Space was crafted on a foundation of stuff that this is crafted on, like Aliens.
Exactly. This is definitely. I mean, even to the definitely Alien.
Like I would define Dead Space as if aliens had sex with the Thing.
Oh, dude, that is. I always said that. I always said Dead Space was like the Thing, just in terms of just.
Yeah.
But no, that's a perfect combination. And this looks pretty cool.
It looks interestingly creepy. It also looks like I could play it on my Game Boy Color.
It looks it looks simple, and I was freaked out. So they even say 90s style adventure. I was gonna say it reminded me of like I have no mouth but I must scream. That adventure game from the 90s was horror crazy sci-fi thing.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's I originally thought it was going to be some resource management like what are those, like the tower games on mobile. I was like, oh yeah, you play this little station, and then I saw a guy like bashing in another guy's head with a rock. I was like, oh, this turned dark quickly.
I think the name is cool. Just
Station.
I think that's a cool name too.
I saw the name. I look at the original screen. I'm like, oh, it's like a subway station, but no.
No. Oh, well, that's cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it, 30,000?
Yeah, they're looking for $33,000.
Okay.
27 days to go, so it's still fresh. They're at $1,000 right now, which I mean that's normal. They're really fresh. That's not a bad opening push. It could go anyway from here.
Yeah, it's I think this concept is awesome, and I don't think it's too niche, but
you've got a little bit of a lone survivor kind of feel in there, which isn't a bad thing.
No,
I love that game. I think there needs to be more like it.
Oh, definitely.
but that's me.
Station. That's a creepy game.
Yeah.
Especially because it is pixel art too. Like I think that's kind of adds like the a creepy juxtaposition of it. Because it's like it's if I look at the still that's right there on the screen, I would not would be like, that's a cool little sci-fi looking pixel
it lulls
art
you
thing.
so you're unsuspecting.
Yes, so that's a cool combination too of horror and fun pixel art.
And it's a good game mechanic device to kind of give a sense of suspense. Because when you're in something like that, and you saw how fast the character moves, if something's coming after you, this is going to make it feel kind of like the Uncanny Valley. You'll get that feeling like something's not right, and then you'll try running away and you're really slow, so it's going to build that feeling of suspense. So I think it could be a good atmospheric game.
Yes.
That's I have more Kickstarters, but we're chatting a lot today, and I think we're just going to watch them next week because they're pretty long.
Sure. I mean, how many more do we have? We got
2 more, but one's 3.5 minutes, one is 7 minutes. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. So we're gonna stay those over till next week. That's fine.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I also have one that I probably will want to show next week too.
Sure.
Whatever. But.
Do you want to watch it now? I don't mind. We can do one more to try and rinse our mouths out.
Do you mind? This one's short.
Yeah, just link it to me in Skype.
Sure.
Let me full screen this bad boy. Also, did you see in chat, GLaDOS is saying that we write a magazine.
Is that true?
It is. So,
where am I then?
You should check out that link and check out the magazine where Kurt and I actually write articles.
This is true. We do pretend to articulate words together.
Yes.
And create sentences that you think are interesting, might find interesting. But yeah, I haven't even. This is the September issue will be my first actual issue writing for.
Man, September. What am I at?
So, otherwise, I've just been doing site stuff.
This is my 6th magazine that I'll be in.
How do you feel?
I'm also turning 30 that month, so old.
Ooh. 30's nothing.
No, it's fine. But it's not 29.
This is true. Because nobody wants to be 29.
Yeah.
That age is corrupted.
Oh my god, I think I'm already going to fall in love with this game. Let's watch a video, then I want to chat.
Okay.
This looks great. And now for something completely different.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh my god, that's it. Okay, I'm in.
So yeah, there's a lot of things that I love about this. First, you hit it nail on the head right at the start. I looked at this as like, wow, this is like a Monty Python animated thing in between skits. But something else that I just love about this, I mean, it just has the weirdest looking art style and atmosphere of just these things collaged together, and it's also being made completely by one person.
Oh, cool.
So Joe Richardson, and the reason why I mention that is because online you can find a lot of his artwork already. He's only really been trying to develop games for the past couple months, and he's made a couple short games kind of starring the same character. But this game is really ambiguous, and there's really no plot whatsoever that's stated there. But I really think what sells me on this is just its weird,
random.
Weird look and feel, the gramophone, and just this opening up with this dead guy. There's X's over his eyes. And I don't know, I really, really, really want to support this just because I think this is just so... I really appreciate ambiguity and like just kind of letting things be, kind of letting things speak for themselves, and that's one of those things that's just like, I don't know what the hell this is, but I want to play it. So yeah,
As well, he's also very modest. He's asking for £1,000 to make the game, and he says in it it's a short point-and-click adventure. Like that's the very first word. So yeah, I'm down. That is a modest Kickstarter.
Definitely, and that's one of the things, and that's one of the reasons why I really support this too, because it's very simple and it's very it's a guy that's not asking for a lot. And if you look, he has other work to rely on that you can see already. He has a lot of weird artwork on his website, and he also has some animated skits that he's done that also feature this very collage, cut and paste look to it. And it's very reminiscent of this quirky Monty Python type humor. So I'm really excited. I really want to support that game. He's got 20 days to go. Got 21 backers, which is great because he was frozen at like 2 backers for the start of his campaign. So, but I think he'll make it.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that's a really modest goal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. It is. It's really good. I like the randomness as well. The whole Monty Python kind of theme totally gels with me. Let's like that. You remember I was showing off that game last week, Double Happy versus the Infinite Sadness?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the random for sure.
Oh, definitely. This guy, Joe Richardson, also has music on his Kickstarter too, and I'm pretty sure he admits that he just plays instruments he doesn't know how to play, and makes music out of like sampling those pieces and making music out of it. And there's just so many things that I find interesting about this guy's willingness to just do things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that. So I'm glad we got to talk about it.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, that's
I think that's going to be us for this week, though. Good chats. We had some excellent chats today. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, definitely. Things to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so make sure to tune in, guys. Follow if you enjoy the show. We have a lot of great shows throughout the week. Tomorrow we have Average Giants, which I need to talk to Giant about because I'm still not sure who we have. But and then on Tuesdays we have In Depth with Squeaky Bee, who is another one of the writers here at IGM. So if you like any content, make sure to give us a like, give us a follow, and much love.
Indeed.
All right.
We love you.
But me and Kurt, we will see you guys next week. So stay tuned until then, and we'll see you guys then.
Thank you, everyone.